I love my Sega Saturn. It's been 3 years since I owned one and I still have a blast playing on it. I definitely cannot wait to get more games for it soon. However, since not many people want to buy the system and its games, emulation for the Saturn is a great way to go. I first looked at Mednafen in 2021, and now a year later using a new operating system and emulator, has anything changed? It's 2022 and now I own a MacBook with the M1 chip. This means programs I took for granted on Windows PCs now may or may not work here. Luckily for my Sega Saturn needs, both real hardware and OpenEmu, which takes advantage of Mednafen, work on this M1 MacBook. Just as well because I want to see if Saturn emulation has improved or changed since my last look. As a recap, Mednafen was great and worked well, but it was blurry and had a small picture. It also had no upscaling options to speak of, and the interlacing was non-existent. Let's see how it fares today against real SEGA Saturn hardware with the OSSC to upscale the output up to 1200p. Alright, I will see how both options fare against each other. I will test 240p, 288p and 480i interlaced games, and at the end compare the sound quality to see which one comes out ahead. Let's start with Panzer Dragoon II, my favourite Saturn game. This one also has a widescreen option which you see now. This is how the game looked in my old video. Here's the OpenEmu version and wow, a huge difference. The picture is sharper and bigger on screen, and it's wider too. I was blown away by this, and it made playing this game far more enjoyable. As for real hardware, aside from game speed as one is PAL and the other is NTSC, there are some differences. The colour and contrast levels are very different. It makes me wonder which one is accurate to Saturn hardware. Sharpness and detail look pretty similar, which is great for those who wish to use emulation on the Mac. It's a great result and improves greatly on the old Mednafen attempt. Resident Evil is next, and both are PAL versions. Other than the picture size, OpenEmu once again delivers the goods. The game works well and there's no complaints about performance. Compared to real hardware, there's less contrast, it's lighter, and less colourful. This might alter the mood since Resident Evil is a horror title, but otherwise it's down to personal preference and up to you to decide if this is a problem or not. X-Men, Children of the Atom look similar on both again, although the real hardware has brighter colours, and I like the contrast, making it stand out more. Otherwise, again, both hold up, and it's more good news for those wanting Saturn emulation with a focus on accuracy. Guardian Heroes has a similar outcome. Either way, both make big improvements over my older look at Mednafen, so ultimately, everyone wins, but I would love to see enhancements like you would get on PlayStation emulators like DuckStation. Vampire Savior or Darkstalkers 3 is next, and I must say I love this game, and to have the Saturn version proper is a dream come true for me. As for graphics, it appears that the OpenEmu version is slightly sharper than real hardware, which I found incredible. It's only slight, but you can notice it on close inspection. Mind you, my OSSC is not optical timed, so the visuals can improve further. Still, this is great news for OpenEmu compared to my older look at Mednafen. Lastly, here's Dead or Alive. This one will show us how the emulator handles interlaced content. Sadly, nothing has improved on this front. There's no deinterlacing on OpenEmu, so there are combing artifacts everywhere. It's still playable and quite sharp, but a decent deinterlacer would have been useful here. On real hardware, I'm using the 4X mode for 480i or 576i and it looks way better. Mind you, resolution switching was not an issue on emulation, whereas on the Saturn, with the OSSC at least, you can see it's not so good. Not bad switching, but the constant picture sizing is very troublesome when trying to capture footage on real hardware. Right, time to show off the rest of the games I recorded, along with seeing if the audio holds up on both platforms. I will see you at the end.
Cyberbots.
Championship. Medium left, baby. Long, medium right. Caution, hairpin right. Checkpoint. Long, medium right. Caution, hairpin right, checkpoint. Okay, left.
Speed way on Alpha 2! Round 2!
Well, it looks as if OpenEmu has a great Saturn emulator. Not only is it quite accurate and reliable, it looks just as good, if not better, than real hardware using the OSSC at Line 5X mode, which is great to see. The image quality was my only true complaint when I first looked at Saturn emulation, and to see it resolved makes me a lot happier now. We still need a way to de-interlace interlaced content, but otherwise I definitely recommend this emulator for your SEGA Saturn needs. What do you folks think of this emulator? Would you try it on Mac or Windows? Let me know in the comments, and I hope to see you all again next time.